Good evening. Good evening. I'm coming live a little bit late tonight because, believe it or not, I have had a very long weekend and was just literally just like vegetating and was like, oh no, I have to go live. I have to maintain my commitment that I made for going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I want to say this, if you are watching live on Instagram, let me know. Drop a what's up in the comments because now I know how to look from StreamYard to Instagram so I can see you there if you say something over there. If you're watching live, drop a what's up in the comments. If you're watching the replay, please say hashtag replay. Tonight, we are talking about getting out of your comfort zone. And I want to share a few personal stories to kind of illustrate the importance of this. And the first one I want to talk about is, it might sound trivial or silly, but I've never really been into wearing makeup. Okay. My mom wasn't really huge into it. And so I didn't start wearing lipstick till I was like in 11th grade. And I didn't even put on foundation until I was like in my late 20s. And that was like once or twice because I was using Retin-A. And when you use Retin-A, you don't need foundation. You just need some loose powder to control the shine and you're good. And then I didn't start using concealer and all that stuff until I was like literally in my 40s. And you know, when you're in the pandemic, you're on camera all the time, you're doing all this stuff. So you have to wear like heavier makeup. But I don't have anything against wearing makeup. And it's not even putting it on. I love how I look in makeup. I love when a professional does my makeup. It's taking it off. That's what I hate. I hate taking it off because you have to use like 3 of those Neutrogena wipes. And it's always in my eye trying to get that liner out or that, you know, eyelash glue or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's just too much rigmarole. So when I'm talking about getting outside of your comfort zone, what's comfortable for me is just to not put anything on, just be looking any old kind of way, you know, but I don't believe in showing up that way. I believe even though like I don't have my lashes on because I'm not putting on my lashes at 9 o'clock. I'm not doing that. Even though I'm not doing that, I'm still going to do something like I put a little something on, you know, got the lipstick on, whatever, because I want to look presentable. I want to look professional because that is the image. That is my brand. I am my brand. And for the services that I provide, there is a certain caliber, a level, a standard that I provide. And so I need to exude that by my appearance. That's what I believe. That's how I want to show up. Now, I'm not in full blown, you know, everything on. Like I said, it's 9 o'clock at night. But the point is I had to get out of my comfort zone in that regard and get better at it. Like I had to learn how to do it, like literally watching tutorials on Pinterest and YouTube and stuff like, okay, what is concealer? You know, they be drawing the faces on. And I'm not one of those people where like if you saw me with my makeup done and not like, oh, I can't tell it's her. Because you know how you watch those transformations, people look totally different. I am not that good. Makeup truly is an artistry. And that's not, you know, that's not my particular gift or skill. It's good enough to get by. So I share that with you. Number 2, when it comes to personal development, one of the things that I had to do when I stepped into this arena of coaching, when I decided that I was going to narrow into the space of transformational coaching, I should say, because I've been coaching, mentoring, speaking, consulting for over 22 years. But in the personal development space, it's kind of a different animal and really going full on entrepreneur. I've been in entrepreneurship, built prior to this business, a couple of other businesses online. And but I never really understood the value and importance of personal development. So one of the things that I had to do was get out of my comfort zone when it came to investing in that, when it came to spending money on that. So my very first coaching program that I ever joined, it was to help me, get my footing as far as creating my business. And it was $7,000 paid in full, and I paid it in full. And then the next program that I did, it was like $8,000. And then the next one was like, I worked with him for a while, so I think it ended up being about $7,000, and it was $13,000. Then it was $25,000, and altogether, I would say at this point, it's been almost $85,000. And here's the difference between investing in personal development and, for example, going to college, because I have a degree as well. This is where I'm telling you to get out of your comfort zone. So we've all been conditioned to believe that, we, go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, you get a great job. Well, when you go to college, nobody ever has any second thoughts or qualms about taking out $1 billion in student loans. Oh, I've got forever to pay it off. Or, oh, I'm going into a field where, they'll forgive it. And so we take out student loans. But here's the interesting thing about student loans. You take out that loan, you pay your tuition, and there's no guarantee that you're going to pass your class. In fact, there's no guarantee that you're going to graduate, but you don't get a refund and there's no anything associated with that. And yet you'll spend that money learning things that you don't care about, learning things that you'll never use, and things that you will forget, because most of what I learned in school, I don't remember. And I have a degree in human resources, and that was where I, spent most of my career when I was in corporate. And yeah, most of the stuff that I learned was once I got into the job. So I share all of that with you to say that we have all spent lots of money investing in ourselves to accumulate knowledge, to accumulate or develop a skill set, right? But the truth is, what happens with most of that so-called education is we forget it. So the difference with personal development is, yes, you are going to learn some things. It is educational, but it is primarily about transformation. And so the difference between transformation and education is education, you forget; transformation, you become. So when you transform, you become a different version of yourself. You think, feel, and believe differently. So you move differently. You make different choices and decisions. So you are literally on a new trajectory as a result of making that investment. So your ROI continues to pay off again and again and again. Hey, hi, Rose. So it's like that, when we're comparing like apples and oranges, it's like we have to understand the things that we have been conditioned to believe versus the things that are actually true, and the things that are actually going to allow us to step into the next level of ourselves. And here's the fun facts: as we spend all that time being conditioned in traditional school, then spend all those thousands of dollars and take out those student loans to get conditioned even more, just to now have to pay thousands of dollars to a coach, consultant, mentor, whomever, to help us destroy that conditioning so that we can break out of the box, step into our expansion, and do what it is that we are desiring to do, without second guessing ourselves and being afraid and having all these limits and beliefs floating around in our mind. This is what we're really paying for. Okay. You can't get this fixed in a university. It's like you literally. And so you have to invest in this, because this is where it all begins. And so for me, like I said, I had to get out of my comfort zone and the way that I viewed money, the way that I viewed investing in myself, the way that I've understood transformation versus just information, right? Because that's really what education is. It's just the memorization and regurgitation of information. That's what I did in school. I got great grades. I was in the honor society, graduated I checked all the boxes. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I could have cared less. I did it because it was something that was required of me, period. That's it. But I memorized and regurgitated and moved on with my life and forgot, because I literally could have been doing something else, should have been doing something else. But, whatever. The times we grow up in, our parents, the area, whatever, that's just, what it was. When I was going to school, homeschool wasn't a thing. I told my parents, I said, I wish that you had homeschooled me. And they were like, it just wasn't a thing. But I'm like, yeah, no, I would have benefited from that. But I share that with you to say that sometimes the reason why we're circling, doing the same things over and over, never improving our finances, never improving our relationships, kind of just always seeming to repeat the same pattern, that is why We have to get out of our comfort zone and seek the guidance and support and help of someone that we may not have ever considered, or something that is different. If we want different results, we have to do something different. And here's the reality: coaching, mentoring, consulting, all that stuff, that's not therapy. Insurance don't cover it. And so it's not insurance prices. So you really need to break up with that idea too. That part you need to get out of your comfort zone in how you are quantifying it. Because a lot of times we don't have, nobody has a budget for coaching. I mean, once you get to a certain level and you realize the value and importance of it, yes, you'll set money aside for that. But most of us, we just keep going and growing because we know, oh, okay, put that on the credit card because I know the person I'm going to become, the person I step into, is going to be able to create the offers, the income to get the return. And sometimes the return isn't always monetary. The return is who you become in the process. And who you become takes you to a different level, a different trajectory, a different path completely than what you were going to be able to get to on your own. So, yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone when you're seeking the guidance and support of a coach, mentor, consultant, whomever to help you. Okay. And so sometimes that biggest comfort zone is just the money, making the investment. So it's important to compare it. There's a a guy, I'm sure you've heard of him. His name is Myron Golden, and he uses this example. I'm going to share it with you because it's so powerful. And he talked about, if you were given $10 million today, and here, free and clear, you get $10 million. Like, oh, great, I have $10 million. And you're like, yay, right? But then the caveat is put on, well, but if you take it, you're going to die tomorrow because you have this illness that there's no cure for. It's terminal. However, actually, I should say this: it is curable, but the cure is $10 million. So what's the point? The point is that, would you keep that $10 million and just, oh, I'm going to live the best 24 hours ever? No, you would in a heartbeat give that $10 million right back to get the cure so that you could keep living. So the point is that your life time is more valuable than money. We always are so focused and stressed on money, yet we always somehow seem to continue to create it. Even if we're stuck in a pattern of feast or famine or going up and down, we still keep going up. And the reasons why we come down are the reasons why we might need to invest to get our mind shifted around in here when it comes to money and our decisions and how we see things in our own worthiness and value. But the point is time is more valuable than money. And this is challenging, especially if you work a 9 to 5, because you're basically trading your time for money. So to think in terms of, okay, I'm going to make this investment today and I'm going to see an ROI now on and then for years to come, I don't know if I can wrap my head around that. Yeah, like 6 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, 25 grand, 18 grand. Wow, that feels like a lot of money. As compared to what? Because when we're stuck in our limiting beliefs, when we're stuck in unfulfilling relationships because of what we believe to be true and possible for ourselves, when we refuse to take action and go after our big dream because we're scared, because we don't believe we can do it, we need more knowledge, we need more information, all this and that, then guess what? We lose time and we lose money. We lose money by not becoming. So it's the cost of not doing anything. The cost of not investing is greater than the number that you see up front. Okay. And so I'm going to bring it right back to the student loan thing, because most of us have had them and nobody questions them. And the reason why is it's just conditioning. It's just conditioning. You have a student loan, that's debt. You put something on a credit card, that's debt. You take out a loan from the bank and you pay to invest in personal development, that's debt. It's all debt. There's no difference. But you've only been conditioned to believe that one is safer or better than the other. But only one actually changes who you are as a person. Yes, you need a skill set. You need to pay your bills. Got that. But you also paid for a lot of stuff you didn't need to know. And that's okay, because that's a part of the deal. So you have to understand that it's not so far-fetched. In fact, it's cheaper because I guarantee you, you didn't get a college degree for 7 grand. I guarantee you, you didn't get a college degree for 10 grand, 15 grand, 25 grand. You paid more than that. And you may even still be paying for it. And it did not change who you are as a person. It did not change how you think, feel, and believe about yourself at all, because it's not designed to do that. But if you are at a stage and phase of your life where you're realizing, I have got to do something different because I want different results, I want to expand, I'm being called to do something more, I want to have a loving, fulfilling relationship with a good man, I want to be married. Or if you're married, I want to have a more connected, passionate relationship. Or if you're a business owner, I want to have a better relationship with money so it's not always in this hustle, struggle, grind mentality. I just want life to be easier. I did 2 events, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But the number one thing most of the women said that they desired was they just wanted to have peace. Well, what's the opposite of peace? War. So who are you at war with? It's yourself. The war is in here. You're fighting against yourself. And guess what? You're always going to lose when it comes to your beliefs, unless you do the deliberate and intentional work to, number one, identify what's going on in there, and then the deliberate and intentional work to shift them and reframe them into more empowering beliefs that support your expansion and what it is that you are desiring to create for yourself next. That's the work that I do with my clients, as I help them to step into their abundance, into their expansion, by helping them to reshape what's going on in here, because this is where it all starts and begins. You can take all the action you want, but your limiting beliefs will yank you back to whatever it is that you believe to be true and possible for you. Okay. So, another example of getting out of your comfort zone, I mentioned I had 2 events this weekend. Well, I, I'll be honest, I'm an extrovert, but during the pandemic, I was in the house with my kids. I had my daughter actually in 2020. So it was just like 3 of us all the time. And so even though that wasn't like the greatest thing, right? Because there was nobody able to come in and support or whatever, it just became my life, my routine. And so to break out of that, to get out of the house and to go anywhere feels like an exercise, and you know what I mean? So it took a lot, to get out of my comfort zone. Now, my comfort zone is being in the house with my kids. But once I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm able to step into another comfort zone that I have, or I should say comfortable. It really is a part of my gift. It's a part of what I love to do. It's a part of my business, and that is speaking. But that is not a comfort zone in the sense of like, oh, I'm being complacent. It's comfortable in the sense that I love it and I love what I do. But in order for me to step into that and to stay in that expansion, I had to, reframe my Sunday, my day, because I had 2 events on the same day. I had to try to put that talk together while managing a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old that I'm homeschooling. And it was a lot, you know what I mean? But I was able to pull it off. I was able to get it done. And it was, both of those experiences were so powerful, not only for the fact that I got to pour into these ladies, but also for me, because I really felt like it was a new level of growth and expansion for me as well. You know, I've never done 2 events in one day. Okay. That was a lot. And, but it felt really good. But I wouldn't have known that if I had said, oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, if I had started allowing myself to talk myself out of doing something that was going to require me to step outside of my comfort zone and do something that required more effort than I typically would have to put in, requiring me to be a little uncomfortable, going places I had never been, managing directions, all those things. But I did it, and it was amazing. And I had a wonderful time and have gotten tons of awesome feedback. And, that was really the impetus for this live tonight. Now, I think what I'm going to be talking about on Wednesdays, I'm going to be talking about peace, because like I said, that was the number one thing that the women at this event were talking about, is how they want to have peace. And I get it. I understand. And that was the theme of my talk, was how to live an abundant life without working hard, overthinking, or shoot, I forgot the last one. Listen, mommy brain, it's 9 o'clock. But the point is breaking up with that hustle grind culture, and mentality, and always feeling like we have to be doing and striving and pushing and proving. The truth is, a lot of us are tired as women. And so that peace, when I say, well, because of course, I'm going to ask questions and dig in, what do you mean by peace? And a lot of them said peace in every way, but really fundamentally at the root, do you know where the peace really starts and what they're really desiring? Is peace of mind. Because, like I said, that's where the war is taking place. All right. So let me check these comments over here on Instagram and get me some water. Let me see if anybody said anything. Okay. I see some folks are watching. Yay. Okay. All right. And yes, thank you, Rose, for being here. All righty. So that is what I have for you this evening. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What is it that you feel like you need to step into more when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone? Share that with me in the comments. I would love to start that conversation here and get that going. If you are watching this replay on YouTube, please be sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are alerted when my next video comes out. If you are watching this on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, please be sure to follow me. And again, comment, let me know that you are here. And if you have any questions, you are welcome to DM me. And I will see you next time.